What's up, everybody? Peace, peace. It's Big John, a.k.a. The Addict, back at y'all with another video. Look here, I want to talk to y'all about a little something that I keep hearing a lot of people speaking about on YouTube and on different things. And it kind of behooves me when a lot of people speak about things that they really have no information on, okay? I do my best not to speak on things that I don't have some kind of knowledge on, right? Where I've actually did some studying, where I actually understand what it is. And one of the things that I want to talk about is this stuff that people keep talking about, the DEIs and the critical race theory and stuff like that, right? And get some more perspective on this right here and give y'all a little bit of perspective of what I've learned and what I understand about this to be true, right? One thing that I do is I study history. I'm a history buff, and I believe that history tells the truth on everything. And sometimes when you don't know where things come from, you don't understand the purpose of those things. You don't understand how they actually work or who it's benefiting or, things of that nature. The one thing about critical race theory, a lot of people don't realize that it comes from, its roots come from this thing called critical theory, right? Critical theory is actually a Marxist term, right? And this was just a term where, number one, it's a theory, right? It's not the truth, right? Of how people's relationship with each other, and relationship with the government, and relationship with, with everything goes, right? They added race in it, right? Because somebody decided that everything should be determined by race. Okay? That's where you got, instead of critical thinking, you got critical theory, you got critical race theory. Okay? Which a lot of this is, like you said, it's a theory. It's not a fact. It's not the truth. But a lot of people are pushing it as facts and as truth. And this is the place where the DEI was founded.
I would not have the job that I have, chances are, if it was not for affirmative action. So.
Oh, you didn't earn it.
I don't understand what you're saying by that. What do you mean?
You said, yeah, hold on, sir.
If you got that job on account of affirmative action, well, you ain't worth the salt to go in your food. Did you know why? If you was worth anything, you would need affirmative action. What do I need affirmative action to get a job? If you get it, you can't hold it because you don't know what to do. And you saying that somebody's supposed to give you, ain't nobody supposed to give you nothing. America is built on individuality. And nobody don't have to give me no opportunity. I make my opportunity. This is what freedom means. And then you can learn anything you want to know. If you want to know it, all you have to do is go to the library. It don't cost you nothing to go there and learn anything you want to learn.
Right. The idea of DEI, which is diversity, equity, and inclusion, right? And I will tell you that I don't subscribe to the critical race theory or DEIs, right? I don't agree with them in no type of way, shape, form, or fashion. I think it has harmed our people. It has harmed this country. It has harmed a lot of people's thought process because now they're stuck on not having to actually get out there and do things for themselves and actually know what you're doing, okay?
It seems that with affirmative action, we care about Black students, we care about Hispanic students. These are the minorities who are going to benefit from this, and Native Americans. But the through line is not necessarily socioeconomic status. It doesn't seem to be resources. It seems to be that these are the minority groups that we feel bad for. We don't feel bad for Asian Americans because they have a culture of high academic standing. They have a culture of drive and of facing adversity. We look at Black students and Hispanic students and Native American students.
We are inferior,
and we pity them.
That's what makes my blood boil. I mean, it's just, I am not less than you because you are white. I don't need you to look at me and feel bad for me because of the color of my skin. And that's effectively what you're doing every time you take an application and you say, oh, well, this girl's Black, so I kind of feel bad for her, so I'm going to put her at the top of a line. It's just not necessary. I believe, right, that Black Americans are capable of performing in the same capacity as their white peers. You two don't actually believe that, because if you support affirmative action, you are basically saying that Black Americans cannot do it on their own.
They're stuck on not actually studying real history, not theory, right? And understanding the impact that as Black people that we've had on society, okay? If you understand, and like a lot of people got mad because Donald Trump was doing away with critical race theory and doing away with DEI, which I'm so happy and I'm so grateful that he has done, right? Which a lot of people are not going to understand it because they're stuck in that mind state, right? Of thinking that we need this to elevate, or think that we need this to be a part of something, right? That we can't just use our own merit and you know, we can't just be the best that we are, that somehow we're inherently inferior. Y'all catch that? That we are inherently inferior and that white people are superior and that we need something extra to lift us up to be on an equal playing field with them. Okay? And I don't agree with that. All right? What I know about our rich history that did not just start in slavery. Our history started in the beginning of time. We were kings and queens, and we invented a lot of the things that we use today. Okay? A lot of the medical practices, a lot of the mathematics, a lot of the things that we implement and use today were discovered, were founded by Black people. Okay? If you look at the first person who did the quantum language for computers, it was a Nigerian. It was a Black guy. You know what I mean? There's a lot of different stuff where we have elevated, and when we look back at our people, those people elevated without making excuses. They didn't need an extra hand up. They already knew what they were capable of doing, right? When we look at any time Black people actually apply themselves to some things, we end up being the epitome of those things. Okay. And I take it like in sports, just for instance, right? For a long time, we didn't play golf. And then next thing you know, one of the best players to ever do it was Tiger Woods. You understand what I'm saying? But that's because once we took interest in it and once we actually apply ourselves to certain things and we understand the physics and how to do it and this and that, we excel. Okay? That's just like I heard one of the representatives get mad at JFK because he made the statement while they were trying to discuss about him being appointed, right? He made a statement about Black people's genetics and not needing as much of the stuff in the vaccines as other people do, right? And they and you know, they come out, oh, that's dangerous, that's dangerous, that's dangerous. What's dangerous about it? He told the truth. To understand that your genes, there's things in your genes and in your DNA that are stronger than anybody else's DNA, right? This is why you have, melanin, right? Don't you know that melanin is like the key to life? It's a reason why you can go out in the sun and you don't get sunburn, whereas somebody else gets sunburn. So what? So black people are supposed to wear sunblock too because white people are wearing sunblock? It doesn't work like that. We don't need it the way that they need it. Okay? And it just has to do with genetics. That's just like, I used to listen to Dr. Sebi, and he used to talk about how he healed a lot of people, and people couldn't understand because what he did was he understood that a lot of times who you are, you need to understand who you are. And he said that the guy that taught him this was a Spanish dude, right? And when the Spanish dude was, when he first started talking to him, the Spanish dude asked him, where's he from, right? And Dr. Sebi said, I'm from Honduras. And the Spanish dude was like, I can't help you. And so he asked him again, he's like, where are you from? And he said, I'm from Honduras. And he's like, no, I can't help you until you understand. And then Dr. Sebi finally told him, he said, well, I'm from Africa. Then the Spanish dude said, now I can help you. Okay? So in other words, the moral to that was you can't take a gorilla out of the jungle and put him where the polar bears is and feed him polar bear food and think that he's going to survive. It doesn't work like that. Okay? It just doesn't. And so with the understanding of that, we understand that they're just differences. Okay? Now, dealing with the critical race theory, right, which is a theory that's saying that everything is divided by race, is that it's should be divided or decided by race, which this is a theory, this is not a fact, okay? The harmful part of that is that it creates a whole lot of division, right? And there's a lot of teachings in there that tells black folks, especially in this society, that we are inferior, right? That we need a handout or a hand up because we are not capable of operating or doing things on the same level as certain other individuals, okay? Which is a lie. And it's a lie, it's false, and if you believe that and buy into that, guess what? Then you will never be able to elevate to that point to where you can compete with anybody. Matter of fact, you can go beyond those people, right? And so I said that to say that when you understand that the process that has to change is my thought process, is understanding that the freedom comes in the freedom of opportunity, right? We all have the same kind of equal opportunity. Now, that doesn't mean that certain things don't exist. That doesn't mean that racism doesn't exist. That doesn't mean that bias doesn't exist, that this and that, right? But what it means is just because it exists does not mean that I use that as an excuse to stay in a lesser state. Does that make sense to you? Okay. I operate on a higher frequency, period. Okay. The only time that I got there is when I quit making excuses. Right. I've done things in my past, where I've been incarcerated or I've been here, I've been this, that, and that. Now, I don't live like that today, right? It's been years and years, 20 plus years, right? And when people see me today, they don't understand where I've been. All they see is the product of what I've been doing since then, okay? I could have easily went to critical race theory that lets me know that, oh, you ain't gonna make it too far with X's on your back. Oh, you black, you really can't. Oh, you're a man, you really can't, this and that. And then that next thing you know, I'm living on that and I'm making excuses like that. I'm saying, well, man, they ain't giving no black folks no jobs around here and this and that, or man, these X's on my back, man, I can't work nowhere, or, whatever. It's only when I stop making excuses and I realize that there's two types of people in the world. There's people that make excuses and people that make changes. I got tired of making excuses, so I made some changes. Okay? Because excuses wasn't working for me. And I ain't never really been that type. I'm a hustler. I'm a go-getter. So I'm going to get it. I'm not going to make any excuses. I'm going to get it. It doesn't matter who the president is. It doesn't matter none of this stuff. I'm going to get it. Okay? I'm not going to let nobody stop me. And the things that they said I couldn't do, I've done multiple times. No matter what the critical race theory says. No matter about the DEI, I ain't never had no handout or no help. I ain't never had food stamps. I ain't never had Section 8. I ain't never had none of that stuff. And you talking about somebody that has X on his back, black, male, and this and that, man. Look, in this society, sometimes we low on the totem pole. Okay? But however, it's about your perception of you. Okay? If your perception of you is that I'm low on the totem pole and I'm just stuck there and I just can't do nothing else and I need some help. I need to be saved. Even Louis Farrakhan, the Honorable Louis Farrakhan, said that part of our problem is we're looking for somebody to save us. We're looking
long time ago, and the cry was jobs and justice. In the March on Washington in 1963. The cry was jobs and justice. In the 20-year anniversary of the March on Washington, the cry was jobs and justice. We are now in 2010. And what is the cry? Jobs and justice. Well, wait a minute. How long are you going to sit around begging white people to do for us what we have the power to do for ourselves?
It's never going to work that way. Okay? Dr. Umar Johnson talks about that. You know, black people need to save themselves until we can pick ourselves up and we stop making excuses and we stop leaning into the rhetoric that allows them to keep us marginalized, right? Because you've had a whole lot of Marxist ideas and different things in the government that is being taught in schools, that is being implemented in ways that they're attacking our kids with this critical race stuff, making our kids believe that there'll be nothing more but a working class.
DEI did not benefit black people en masse. It benefited a couple of token blacks. And I'm sorry, y'all gonna lose your little token benefits. But DEI did not benefit the masses of African people. Barack Obama is the first president to use the words diversity, equity, and inclusion in his DEI initiative that he signed in August of 2011, mandating that the federal government take steps to diversify, include, and guarantee equity for minorities. But it was all about the rainbow. That law was about immigrants and rainbow gangers. It was not about black people. Yes, you have a few black people who are going to lose some DEI benefits. But we are 42 million. And when we add our African immigrant brothers and sisters in, we're about 45, 48. I'm going to round it up because they always suppress our numbers. I'm going to round it up to 50 million Africans in America. Somebody help me understand how Barack Obama's DEI has benefited black people in these past 16 years. Help me understand. Affirmative action is not the same as DEI. Affirmative action was destroyed by George Bush in the opening years of the 21st century. He destroyed it. The Supreme Court destroyed it. Affirmative action has not been a governmental priority since Lyndon Baines Johnson. Affirmative action has been dead. Affirmative action been dead. That's why Barack Obama called it diversity, equity, and inclusion. Why didn't Barack Obama call it affirmative action? Why didn't Barack Obama call it affirmative action? Why didn't Barack Obama call it affirmative action? I'll tell you why Barack Obama didn't call it affirmative action. Barack Obama didn't call it affirmative action because he didn't want it associated with black people. He didn't want it associated with black people. You're fighting for something that was not created to help you. Let me say it again for the kunocracy in the back. You're fighting for something that was not created to help you. Let me say it one more time. You're fighting for something that wasn't created to help you. They are distracting you from your main fights. We should be fighting against mass incarceration. We should be fighting against miseducation. We should be fighting against police genocide. We should be fighting against economic apartheid. We should be fighting against homelessness and gentrification. Not Nelly for performing, not Snoop Dogg, not Black History, and not DEI.
Okay? That they can't be the richest man in the world, that they can't be the president, they can't be this, they can't be that. They'll tell you that, but then on the other hand, we need to have diversity, equity, and inclusion. DEI, right? Which I will say this: in the beginning, DEI was supposed to be for protection. Was to protect against people who were discriminating against you because of your skin color or whatever, right? But it turned from being a protection into being a promotion. Now you're promoting somebody automatically without them having the skills, and you're discriminating against other people that have the skills based on their race, their gender, you know what I mean? And their sexual preference, right? My thing is, to me, that doesn't matter, okay? If I have a business, I'm not going to hire you because you're black. I'm not going to hire you because you're this, none of that. I'm going to hire you because you got the skills needed that I need for my business to be successful, okay? So I've been in sales and marketing and all that kind of stuff for a long time, and I train people to be sales reps. Right. And one thing about it, when you're in that field, in the marketing and stuff like that, you have to be a producer. And personally, I would probably hire somebody with experience over a degree. Okay. It doesn't matter if this degree says, oh, well, you're a good DEI hire, this and that, if you don't have no experience. Okay. If all you have is book knowledge, but you don't have practical human interaction knowledge, you're not going to go far. If you don't know how to talk to people, if you don't know how to transfer energy, where you have to be excited about stuff, you never sell nothing you don't believe in. If you don't have that kind of transfer of energy, you're not going to be a producer, and you're going to find out you're in the wrong field. Okay, so. Once you understand that, the way to do things is not based on your race, your sexual identity, none of that. People don't know a lot of that stuff when you're talking to them on the phone or you're doing this. Sometimes they just go on the vibe that they're feeling, right? Of how you address them, how you deal with them, whatever it is. Okay? And so these are things that sometimes we need to understand, okay? Also, we need to understand that when you're looking at things from a statistical point, we understand that DEI has not helped black folks, okay? The majority of the demographic that it has helped more than anybody else has been white females. And then after that, it's been white males. And then after that, it's been Asians. And then after that, it's been Spanish. And then after that, it's been black women. And then after that, it's been black men. Okay? So while y'all are pushing stuff, y'all don't even know you're pushing stuff that is against yourself. Okay? And I'm really tired of black folks not getting on the same page as far as our agenda and what we need, right? If you're going to be a part of something, you got to understand that you don't have to sell out to be a part of something, okay? You don't have to keep pushing these woke ideas, this crazy stuff, right? Like right now, there's a lot of stuff going on in the government. Everybody's mad at Trump and everybody's that. But these, this is the guy that was elected to do a job, and what he ran on, he's actually doing. Okay? Now, you don't have to agree with it. Of course, anytime that you want to understand the frivolous spending of our government, you have to have people that are able to look at the frivolous spending of our government. So how can you do that without shutting everything down and looking at it and saying, okay, this program is good, this program's good, but we got 90% of these programs where we're just sending our taxpayer, American people's money over to, Gaza for rubbers, over to this place for, trans parades and this and that. It's ridiculous, man. Some of the stuff that Elon Musk has found that we are spending money on is super ridiculous. And I'm almost afraid that a lot of that stuff is going where it's supposed to go because you have other people that are attached to it, right? Underhandedly getting that money, okay? And so, there's a lot of different things where the American people are mad. We're mad that we have tornadoes over in, hurricanes over in North Carolina and all that stuff. And you look up and you tell me we ain't got no money? What I've been paying taxes for? FEMA ain't got no money. You've given all the money away to illegal aliens? People that are, coming over here and committing crimes and doing this and doing that? Not saying all of them do that, but I'm just saying, the ones that we're targeting right now, there's a lot of them that's in here that should not be in here, that are making it bad for the ones that are in here doing, trying to do their best to be American, right? And so, there's a lot of things that we just have to look at, and we have to understand that it takes somebody who is tough, who is shrewd, who is a businessman and understands how things are ran in order to deal with some of the stuff that we're going through right now. Some of this stuff is real serious stuff. It is not no watered down version of nothing. Okay? And the one thing I can say, because I'm not no super big Trump fan, I'm not big in politics, right? However, I do like some of the stuff that he do and understand the reason for it, right? And I like the fact that he's hired somebody who is outside of the government to look into some of the things that are in the government, right? But people always criticize and people always fearmonger, right? Instead of allowing some stuff to see it through, right? And then part of the problem is you're not creating that type of fear when you need to. We shouldn't even be in the position we're in right now. If y'all were creating that kind of fear then, we wouldn't be here right now. Right? But now you want to keep us stuck. You want to keep us learning critical race theory. You want to keep us as a DEIs. You want to keep us this and that. No, we tired of that. We tired of that. Okay? So I know some of y'all ain't going to like it. Okay, whatever. Keep it pushing. Right? Because one thing about me, I love my people, and I'm going to tell you right now, the only way that my people are going to be successful is if we get on out there and we lift each other up. We need to quit looking anywhere else but to ourselves. We need to join together, cut the crap, okay? Cut these so-called leaders off. Because you got a lot of these so-called leaders, especially in the Democratic Party, who are just leading out of their own interests in their own pockets. They're not leading from a principled place of helping our people, right? Which is American people. Okay? I'm just saying, we're American people. I'm Afro-American. I'm African first and American second, right? My heritage is from Africa, but I was born in America. So I understand that. All right? Anyway, there's a couple more things I'm going to be coming at y'all with. But right now, I just wanted to share that with y'all. And there's a couple of places where you can find information. today in this society, you shouldn't have no reason to find information. You know what I mean? You can Google stuff. You can look at that. Just look up the history of this and the history of that and just start watching some of the documentaries, right? People are going to give you the information. They're going to give you the characters, who it is, how it was implemented, why it was implemented, why it's not good, why it's good. You know what I mean? So with that, y'all like, subscribe, share, and help me push this channel, right? I need y'all to help me push the algorithm. You know what I'm saying? Y'all like my video, but I need y'all to like it on the video. I need y'all to comment on the video. If you got something to say, go ahead and comment. No, I don't tolerate too much foolishness. Now, you know what I mean? Hey, you don't have to like what I'm telling you, but just understand that I'm always looking out for our best interests, especially as black people, especially as people, period, right? So, till next time, I'll let your boy later. Peace, peace.